What's up, Shuck It?
Buddy, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
What are you going to do after Sunday?
Keep doing what I'm doing.
Where at?
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just chimed in and say what's up and see what you were going to do.
Well, we'll see you. We'll see you over on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm always on YouTube, so I'll see you at some point.
All right. We'll see you there.
All right, later.
See you. Tex, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
So yesterday or the day before, you were criticizing Greg Abbott for ordering the flags to be at full staff for the inauguration, right?
I don't care about the flag at all. I just thought it was just another kiss ass moment for him to kiss Trump's ass.
So is that what Gavin Newsom is doing too? Because he ordered flags to be at full staff for Trump's inauguration.
I assume Gavin Newsom is trying to curry favor with Trump because Trump's trying to hold aid over his head for LA. So I'd imagine that Gavin Newsom is doing this as a good gesture or a gesture of goodwill. That's what I'm trying to say. That would be my guess.
Or AKA kissing his ass.
Sure, but for his people, right? Like, what does Texas need? Texas gets everything. Like, Texas didn't need anything. This wasn't a negotiating tactic. This is Texas just saying, we just want to show you one more time that we love you so very much. And what does it say? What does it say that, like, in order to curry favor with Donald Trump, that you have to raise the flags? I mean, he's such a petulant child.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Like I said, I don't care about the flag at all. I don't care where the flag is positioned. But the fact that it gets you goodwill with Donald Trump if you raise the flag shows what a child Donald Trump is.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, have a good one.
I did. See it. Idaho governor doing the same thing. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'd imagine like once one person does it, they probably won't be the last to do it. And frankly, I don't have a problem with it. I could give a shit about the flag. I don't care. I have no, I don't really have a ton of respect for like symbolism like that. I know it means a lot to a lot of people, but to me, it means very, very little. So I don't care. But you see who's doing it for what reasons. Trebek, you're back? Now what? Now what?
Buddy, I forgot to ask you a question. Why were you busting on my buddy's balls the other day?
Who is your buddy?
Sean Ryan. His podcast is awesome. I told you about him months ago, and you didn't even know who he was.
I know, and now I know who he is, and I know who funds him.
Yeah, but I watch the show for the Warriors. They're awesome. The stories they tell, amazing.
Cool, but now he's in politics, and he's a fucking idiot when it comes to politics. He's great on. I agree. I like some of his war stories. He doesn't know a goddamn thing about politics, and he's being used by people like Erik Prince to push his like their pro private military, their pro interventionalists. Like all he's doing right now is propaganda for Erik Prince, and I think you know that. I think you know that Sarah Adams is a propagandist. I think you know that the Jane Doe he just put on last night is bullshit. Like they're clearly speaking for Russia, and they're just using him. He goes to Romania to host it to interview somebody that's backed by Putin, who had this massive TikTok scam, and Sean Ryan has the audacity to say, there is no evidence that this person benefited from TikTok. Like, what? We did the math. One of my researchers did the math. She said that every person in Romania would have had to view the leader's video 9 times a week in order for him to get those videos or those views. Every single person in Romania would have to have TikTok and have watched his video 9 times. It's clearly Russia, and Sean Ryan's either in on it or he's being used. And I think he's being used because they are able to scare him. And so he thinks he's covering these big stories that are so important and uncovering all this fraud, and he's uncovering literally nothing. And it's devastating to watch him drag like our armed forces and special forces and all the people that follow his podcast for that. It's devastating in the comments to see them be like, this is the real corruption. We have to start that World War III is coming. They have no idea they're being lied to either. So we got now millions of people being lied to for Vladimir Putin through Sean Ryan.
Listen, cut the guy a break. He is a war hero. The guy I love. He has some great people on. You know,
I'll cut him a break for being a war hero. I'm not going to cut him a break for literally doing the bidding of Vladimir Putin, war hero or not. He's not.
I don't think he's doing that.
It's absolutely what he's doing. What are you talking about?
Well,
where does Sarah Adams
digging into that?
Sarah Adams says that she doesn't get any of her information from our intelligence. She says that she gets it through publicly available material, and then it's confirmed by heads of state that she knows from other countries. What other countries do you think she's getting that information from?
I don't know.
Guess.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, she's pretty pro-Russia, right?
Again, I don't know. I don't think she's pro-Russia.
She's not?
Why would you say she's pro-Russia?
Well, she's anti-Ukraine.
That doesn't mean she's pro-Russia.
It's exactly what it means.
Nah,
you cannot be pro-Russia. They invaded another country. How are you on the side of the invader?
Well, again, let me do some research on it.
Well,
let
me ask you this question. Let me ask you about Sarah Adams. Sarah Adams, Sean Ryan, Erik Prince, they've all said the same thing. They all call it a territory battle or a border battle, right? It's about borders. And then they all say, every one of them was critical of Ukraine firing missiles into Russia. And they said they're going to start World War III. Isn't that a fucking dumb thing to say when Russia is literally in Ukraine? Like, Russia invades your country, you fight back, and Sean Ryan, Sarah Adams, and Erik Prince are like, I can't believe the Ukrainians are firing back into Russia. What are they thinking? They're going to start a war. The war already started. Yeah.
I know, but again, she's a former CIA intelligence officer. I'm not going to listen. We don't know what she knows.
Why isn't she in the CIA anymore?
I don't know. Why isn't she? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's paid by Erik Prince.
Okay, but you're pretty sure, but you don't know for sure.
Well, Erik Prince left the United States so that he didn't have to show us his financials anymore, and he's now established in Dubai where we don't have to see anything, or we can't see anything. We can't see any of his financials. We know he goes to Austria and he buys a bunch of planes and he equips them with weapons. We wouldn't have known that if the Austrian government didn't find it. We know that he's in We know that he's facilitating private militaries in Africa so that they can withdraw protected minerals without anybody knowing. We know that he's involved in basically every coup around the world. And all these people just suddenly leave intelligence agencies and now they have podcasts. I wonder who funds that.
Well, that's a whole nother
How do you think
issue.
Sean Ryan got a massive podcast? Because he didn't start out of his bedroom. He started off big.
That's one thing I don't like. There's one thing I don't like. I don't like when movies are done either. Like our special forces, Navy SEALs, and they should not make movies about these guys. Everything they do should be kept quiet, and a lot of them bring it out too themselves, which they shouldn't do. But
why do you think Sean Ryan and Erik Prince haven't come out and said anything about Tim Kennedy?
I haven't been following that closely. Again, I'll do my own research.
Go watch the Anti-Hero podcast.
Everything with you lefties is Russia.
Listen, Tim Kennedy was exposed by the Anti-Hero podcast. They are as pro-Trump. They are as far right as you are. They're just also special forces, and they know that Tim Kennedy lied about all his stories. But the people who, like Tim Kennedy, all of a sudden had a podcast, and all of a sudden he had this camera crew. He kind of launched out of nowhere. He went from zero to a bunch, and he's all over the world. So how was he on the ground in North Carolina? Why are they breaking on? Why is Sean Ryan breaking this story about the Vegas bomber? They're all funded. And none of them are taking shots at Tim Kennedy. Every single person who worked with Tim Kennedy, like actually worked with him, says he's a liar, says all those stories are bullshit. But the only people not saying it are like Sean Ryan and Erik Prince. They're still singing his praises. Why? Because he's an effective propagandist for them.
You're linking Erik Prince to paying Sarah Adams without really any proof.
I have tons of proof.
You just said you don't know for sure.
Well, yeah. Where's she getting her money? Where's she getting her money? Where's she getting her money?
But you don't have proof that she's getting it from him.
I have tons of links between the two of them.
Well, you get the proof. Bring it on the show.
Well, no, I'm telling you, it's a guess. Like, it's a guess with Sarah Adams, but who else is giving her money?
All right. Well, listen, Sean Ryan's podcast is awesome. The Warriors on there are great.
Hey, I got a question. What does Sean Ryan give to most of his guests?
Firearms.
No. What does he give to them as a gift all the time?
I know he gave a couple of pistols to his guests.
All right, there's one other thing. It's like an advertiser.
It's
a phone, right? He gives them all a phone.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about? The one that's like untraceable?
Okay.
Who owns that company?
I don't know.
Erik Prince.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's cut in to share revenue with that company? Sean Ryan.
again,
just watch the show today. I'm going to cover Erik Prince in a minute. I'm going to cover all of Erik Prince today. He's a problem. Who set up the Trump Tower? Who set up the Trump Tower meeting?
You know what?
Who set up the Trump?
Today,
wait, one more. Who set up the Trump Tower meeting between Russia and Don Jr.? Erik Prince.
Okay.
Who did Vladimir Putin offer his private military to before he went with Wagner?
Okay.
Erik Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again,
who's the guest who's been on Sean Ryan's podcast the most?
Let me guess.
Erik Prince. Yeah. They've taken. I'm telling you. Like, here's what I think. This is my guess. My guess is they have paid off. And whether I don't think that Sean Ryan may not know, Joe Rogan may not know, Lex Friedman may not know. I think what we're going to find out is that Erik Prince and all of these tech billionaires paid off a bunch of social media influencers and podcasters to get their messaging out there, and so that and get Donald Trump back in office. I don't think any of these people are stupid enough to repeat the lies that they repeat without those lies being fed to them by people that they trust. Like Peter.
Are you claiming Erik Prince, a former Navy SEAL, is a Russian asset?
Yeah, I am claiming that. Yeah. But I don't think he's a. Well, never mind. Let me change that. I don't think he's a Russian asset. I think he sees Russia as a good business partner because he's in bed with every dictator. You can go watch videos of him down in El Salvador. You can watch videos with him with Milei in Argentina. Every single dictator that or fascist that's out there right now, Erik Prince has a connection to him.
But you don't think there's another reason why he could be in these countries?
Why would he?
Than that?
Why would he be?
Well, again, the guy's a former Navy SEAL. They had some of the highest security clearances you could possibly get. Who knows what they're doing there?
But he's a citizen of Dubai.
Okay.
So he's not working for us.
No, but he still probably has some clearances that we're not aware of.
He's a
former Navy SEAL.
He had clearances under the Trump administration, and he'll probably get clearances again. But he's a mercenary, dude.
I would think he has them now.
I mean, do you remember the Blackwater scandal where you had those people that just gunned down Iraqis and children?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Erik Prince owned Blackwater. That's his company.
You don't think he had clearances now under Biden?
Wait, but hold on. Erik Prince owned that company.
Okay, but you don't think he had clearances under Biden?
No.
I'm sure he did.
No, absolutely not. I'm sure those were taken away.
I'd be
kidding.
surprised.
Joe Biden. Listen, Erik Prince does not have friends on the left. Unless you can show me some. I've looked. I can't find any connections to Erik Prince with anybody on the left. And I'm telling you, we've done probably 100 hours of research at this point. One researcher in particular has spent, I don't know, she's probably spent 30 to 40 hours just on this topic alone. We have yet to find any connection to the Biden administration.
Okay, let me ask you one more question before I go.
Sure.
Who do you want for your running mate running for 2028?
For president?
Yeah. On your side.
I honestly haven't thought about it. I've always been a fan of Pete Buttigieg. I don't know. I don't know who's going to run. I assume Kamala's going to run again. I assume Buttigieg. I assume.
I hope she doesn't run again.
I assume Newsom. Look, I think that there's a real chance that were you here yesterday?
No, I wasn't.
I think there's a real chance that a lot of these players, Erik Prince, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Donald Trump, I think that there is a real chance that those people are not citizens of our country anymore in the very near future. Within the next 4 years.
You don't think they're what?
I don't think they're citizens of our country again or anymore.
Why?
I think they're all going to go to Dubai.
Oh, now you're getting crazy here.
Yeah, now this is a conspiracy theory, but hear me out on this. Donald Trump has 3 projects currently going on in Dubai, funded by the government there in Dubai. He wrote the Abraham Accords right before he left office. That was essentially an agreement with Israel to fund future projects. It wasn't a military agreement. They called it a peace agreement, but really it was about financials. Every one of these people that signed that agreement with Israel wants to see Palestine leveled, which it basically is. And they want to go in there and they want to turn that into a private city, which is a perfect place to do it. All of these people, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, they're already funding private cities. They don't believe in democracy. They think democracy is outdated. They don't believe that people who aren't elite, who don't have elite education and elite business people should be allowed to vote. They see the problem with America is that there's too many people allowed to vote. And that's in their own words. Like, I'm not even making that up. You look at what's happening in Dubai right now and the business connections all of them have. Elon is setting up a school there. It's a school that he could set up here. He's setting it up there. He's wanted to take over education since he's been here. I think that there's a real possibility that all of these people, the reason they chose Trump and the reason they're all in bed together is that if the conspiracy theory was going to work, and again, this is 100% conspiracy theory, if it's going to work, what they're going to do is once Trump's in office, they're going to negotiate their exit. I played a video yesterday of one of them explaining how they all want to exit the United States, how they all want to have their own country. If you're going to do that, you need Donald Trump. You could create alliances under Donald Trump. You could create business relationships under Donald Trump, and it gives Donald Trump and his family a landing spot because no matter what, once a Democrat takes office again, the entire Trump family is going to be under investigation for a myriad of crimes that they've absolutely committed, but they weren't. But fortunately for them, they've had the protection of the Supreme Court, and they were able to slow walk all of these, every one of these investigations until he got back in office. I think they all have vocally said they want to be gone. The only person that hasn't said they vocally want to leave the United States is Donald Trump. So he might be the one person who isn't going. But I have this sneaking suspicion that this is a plan for all of them to have their own world now where they don't have government regulation.
I was just going to say, there's no chance at all that Trump ever leaves the United States. Now, do I think he's going to do business in Dubai?
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he leave the United States?
Do business there.
Why wouldn't he leave the United States? His name is dog shit here in the business world. He can't run a business in New York. Every business he's operated is going to be investigated for fraud because he's a fraudster.
He still has a ton of businesses in the United States.
Properties, and those properties rely on him having diplomatic connections. Those properties are entirely funded by him running for president. He can't run for president anymore. There's no reason for any of these people to come and spend $10 million at one of his golf courses. All of those,
but he has a ton of golf courses.
They were all failing before he entered office, and they're all doing really well now.
Well, listen, he's not going anywhere. And do I think he's going to do business in Dubai? Yeah, sure. I can totally see him doing business over there. I don't think he's going to.
Well, he doesn't have that many years left, but I'm thinking of his kids. I think his kids would. I mean, why wouldn't they cut out a deal for themselves?
Just don't get extreme on me here like your counterparts on here.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
You know, people like, Tommy, who said a week before the election how he was going to lose by 10 points in my state, and I laughed. I was sitting there in disbelief, like he actually believed it. That's how.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but you didn't know either.
Oh my God, dude! I knew.
No, you didn't know. No. You were right. You didn't know.
No, I knew he wasn't losing by 10 points.
Yeah, you didn't. Wait, no, you didn't. You just guessed that.
Knew he had a chance to lose in PA, but if he was going to lose in PA, based on what I was hearing from my friends in 5 other counties, he was losing by a hair. This dude is on there saying he's. Well,
I don't make predictions like that. I'm not going to sit here and shit on Tommy while he's not here to defend himself. You want to talk to Tommy? Talk to Tommy.
Like, come on, dude.
Look, I don't know what Tommy said, but I'm not going to shit on Tommy. Like he hosts his own lives. You have plenty of opportunity to talk to Tommy. I don't know what he said.
I just laugh at some of these extreme, but don't get extreme on me there, buddy. Don't get extreme.
I'm not extreme, but I do want to ask you a question.
You're extreme with some things.
Like what?
I mean, you call police officer pigs and you degrade them.
I don't say pigs. I've never said that.
You've degraded them when I had that conversation with you before.
I've said
most of them are bad and they're terrible.
No, I've said ACAB.
You said what?
ACAB.
The hell's ACAB?
All cops are bastardized, or all cops are bastards.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, see,
but if you understand, if you don't look at the word bastardized or bastards as like a pejorative, and you look at what the word actually means, it's true.
Most police officers are good people. You have bad cops.
Probably don't agree with that. I think most police officers are bad people.
Listen, on average, 1,000 people a year die from them after 30 million contacts with the general public.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
100%.
What's that number like in other countries?
Dude, 1,000?
But what's that?
30 million
what's
contacts?
What's that number? What's that number like in other countries?
What's that percentage?
What's the number like in other countries? I don't know why.
I don't care about other countries.
I know you don't, but I do. So when I compare our police force, I compare it to other countries. You're just now picking a percentage and arbitrarily saying it's no big deal. Do you think that migrant crime is a big deal?
Here's why it's not a big deal.
Do you think migrant crime is a big deal?
Yeah, but
okay, but what about the numbers? But wait, what about the numbers? Statistically speaking, you're far more likely to be injured by an American. Americans commit crimes at a higher rate than migrants.
Hold on. You're changing the goalpost tremendously here.
No, I'm not changing the goalpost. I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to say that I don't think that you actually believe that these numbers matter. I don't, because if you don't compare them to something else, then who the hell cares?
Of the 1,000 out of 30 million contacts, of those 1,000, less than 2% are unjustified. And why is that?
Because police conduct their own investigations, and they get bullshit. I live in Mesa, Arizona, and if you know anything about police, you know how many people have died in Mesa, Arizona. There's a video of a person that comes out of their hotel room who is drunk, and the police hold him at gunpoint, and he is crawling, and they unalive him, and that officer got cleared.
I can give you more instances of officers that weren't charged that should have been, but again,
that's why I don't care about. So don't use that number then, because what percentage of
I'm talking about ones that are I'm talking about ones that are charged. Less than 2% are found not guilty, and the reason is the mainstream media makes them guilty before any evidence is ever out. Just like the Michael Brown case,
brother. The mainstream media isn't in the courtroom.
That's my whole point. They had these officers guilty.
So how did they make them guilty? They go to court.
Hold on. The Michael Brown case is a perfect example of what the media does. They had that officer guilty before it ever hit the courtroom.
They don't decide. I don't care what they say.
It hits the courtroom, and people testify that it was justified, and he's found not guilty. The right decision was made. But the mainstream media had this guy guilty, ruined his life, and never apologized for it.
I don't agree that it was a justified. Absolutely
justified. Absolutely.
So the problem that I have with saying something's justified is something can be within the law, and I don't believe it's justified. Like Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny was not guilty. Daniel Penny didn't have to kill that person. Kyle Rittenhouse was not guilty. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't have to kill anybody. In the Michael Brown case, Michael Brown didn't need to die.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
The witnesses testify he grabbed his gun. If he gets that gun away from him and shoots the police officer, he's dead.
Yeah, they grab. They're literally wrestling, and they say the witnesses are going to side with the police. I get it, but yeah, I think the problem is. I think the problem. I don't care. I don't care.
That whole case is about race.
I don't.
Listen, they made it about race when it wasn't about race.
Brother, the thing is like you're not going to hear me side with the police until the police are transparent, and they're not. They cover for each other. You know goddamn well as a police officer, you guys were a brotherhood, right?
No, we weren't. No, absolutely not.
Oh, nobody called it a brotherhood. You're lying.
No,
It's called the Fraternal Order of the Police.
That's not what
what's the fraternal? What does it mean if you're the Fraternal Order of the Police?
Listen, this is
what does that mean?
Hold on, let me.
No, you have to answer the question.
Calm down.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm gonna answer you and give you some education here.
Answer that part first, and then move on.
I am gonna answer. This is the problem with people who don't.
And what does fraternal order mean?
It's not a brotherhood.
What does it mean? What's fraternal mean?
These police officers didn't.
What does fraternal mean?
You're missing the point.
No, you are. What does fraternal mean?
You think it means brotherhood.
It does. It means of or like brothers. Either you are brothers or you're like brothers. It's the Fraternal Order of the Police.
Okay. Well, let me know when you're ready.
Brother. No, because this is the thing. This is the thing, Shuckett, is what you're about to tell me is your experience and your guys' way of saying that you're not a brotherhood. And I don't give a fuck because I've watched how the police have operated, and they operate like a brotherhood, and they are given things like qualified immunity. Until the police are reformed, I don't care what they say. I cannot trust them. I don't trust you, and I don't trust them because they lie all the time, and they're legally able to do it.
Do you trust doctors?
They don't operate as a order.
No, but they kill 500,000 people a year by misdiagnosing them. But you trust your doctors, don't you?
Yeah, and there's
500,000 people to 1,000.
Excuse me. when a doctor is investigated, is it the other doctors that investigate them?
No, but they use doctors.
So then it's not the same.
They use doctors
so then
as
it's not
witnesses.
so then it's not the same, is it? When I look at Mesa PD, and you know goddamn well I'm right about this because you don't want to touch this subject, but the amount of people that have been killed by Mesa PD and they never face charges because they were investigated internally, and then they don't even have to make those investigations public. You know that this is true. You know.
You
tell me that's not true in Mesa. Tell me that's not true.
Can I answer a question without you interrupting me? You asked me 3 questions now. You haven't let me answer
you have been interrupting every question.
I haven't interrupted you at all.
Tell me that's not true in Mesa.
Okay. I don't know all the cases in Mesa. I know the one you're talking about. The officer should be in prison for it.
Why isn't he?
It was terrible.
Why isn't he?
Again, I agree with you.
Who did the investigation?
Again, I'm agreeing with you. Okay. You have some cases like that.
Until that is gone. Until the ability to investigate themselves is gone, I will never trust them.
Here's what you don't want to accept. You don't want to accept the fact that majority are not like that.
I don't care what the majority is. It's a bad system.
Majority is investigated.
But I don't care. It's a bad system.
But yet you're okay with doctors killing 500,000
people. No, I'm not. And I want them to
1,000.
No, I want them to be investigated, but not by themselves. I don't think that the state board of medicine should be. I don't think that the state board of medicine should be investigating them.
So let me ask you this: who would you want to investigate a use of force case other than law enforcement?
I think that you should have a role. Like, I think that it should be every state, every county, every city should have somebody that's assigned to do that, and they should have literally no connection with the police. They can't go to fundraisers together. They can't sit together. They can't have dinner together. They can't communicate at all.
Should they have should they be required to have some experience in the use of force realm?
No.
Okay, so that's a problem, and I'll tell you why. Watch the video of the pastor who hates police, and they take him to a training.
I've seen it.
He's a perfect example.
No, why doesn't it?
No, he's like you. He's like you.
No,
he
he's
hates
not.
Police.
I don't hate police. I hate the system.
He got it made an ass out of because he had no clue what he was talking about when it came to use of force, just like normal people like you. You don't understand.
You don't have to have experience in use of force.
Oh, you absolutely do.
Excuse me. Now who's interrupting? You don't have to have experience in use of force to understand it.
Yes, you do.
Then how the fuck do you put police officers out there? You train police officers on use of force, but they never have encountered a use of force instance. Are you telling me that they never know until they actually have to use force? Is that
there's not one police officer working today that has not experienced use of force.
On their first day?
Maybe not on their first day.
Okay,
but
so why are they allowed to be police officers then? Because they haven't experienced. They haven't actually dealt with use of force in the real world, right?
Right, but they have very quickly within a week or two of coming on the force.
Sometimes where I grew up, every single cop in my there wasn't a single cop in my hometown that had dealt with use of force. The first time the police had ever fired a weapon in my hometown, I think I was like 12 years old.
Use of force isn't just firing a weapon. A police officer's presence is a use of force.
Okay, well then we all understand that.
See, this is where
hold on.
Who talk so dumb know nothing what you're talking about.
We were talking about killing people. Now you've set up a scenario where the only people that could investigate the police are police.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
that's exactly what you're saying.
Hold on. Let me finish. People who should be investigating police should not be currently working in law enforcement. They should be retired law enforcement.
No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. I don't need retired brothers investigating the police. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
And you don't even know what
what none of those police officers have any experience in that would investigate the law. Right? They have no idea. They've never tried a case. They've never investigated a case. They've never done any of this.
You don't even know what use of force is. You just proved it by your comment.
Brother, use of force is not existing is not use of force.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You want me to look it up?
This is where you look up
use of force. Because this is what you do. This is what you do every time. Is you claim that things mean something different if you're a police.
I'll give you an example.
Okay, no, let me see. Let's see. Here's what they say: the use of physical or psychological measures to control a situation. So just being there is not a use of force, is it?
It is use of force. I'll give you an example. You want an example?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, listen, I
I
don't want an example. I want you to shut up.
I'm proven wrong.
I want you.
This is what you always do.
I'm reading directly from where's this from?
I don't care what you're reading. I did it for years.
Yeah,
young
but you're wrong.
You never did
yeah,
it.
But
I've done it.
But I don't trust you, so I'm gonna.
I have the training and extensive training.
But I don't trust you.
I have extensive training.
But I don't trust you. So I'm gonna say what's written here.
Because you don't want to hear the truth.
Officer Well, this is gonna listen. You're gonna freak out halfway through this sentence.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna laugh at you.
You're gonna freak.
I'm already laughing at you because you're clueless. Go ahead.
The first sentence, and please wait till the end of the sentence. The first level of force where no force is used is officer presence.
Say the sentence again for me. Go ahead.
First level of force.
Level of force. There's 4 levels.
Yeah, there you just did it. Did I not predict this, everybody? Did I not just predict that he would only pay attention?
You just proved my point.
He would stop me in the middle of the sentence where no force is used.
Prior to that, you said level of force.
Nobody gives a shit about
what is level of force.
That's what I'm saying here. Listen.
Yeah, that's why I educated you before because you didn't know the 4 levels of force. This is where you're so dumb, dude. It's funny. I'm laughing at you. What are the 4 levels of force again?
Officer presence,
RTP.
verbalization, empty hand control, less lethal methods, lethal force. It's 5 levels actually.
There you go.
Oh, how many? It's 5. I thought there were only 4.
The first 2 are combined.
Wait, why didn't you say 5 levels of force?
Because the first 2 are combined.
Why didn't you say 5 levels of force?
I'm trying to answer you. You keep yelling because you're like a chick. You're a beta male. Calm down,
dude. Listen, don't do that shit. You have a badge and you think you're an alpha, but you're dumb as fuck. You're not an alpha in any situation.
I'll explain it to you.
You don't control.
Yelling.
I need you to shut up. I don't trust you, so I'm reading the website, and you keep being wrong about what's on the website here. So let's just be very clear about this. Be quiet, please. Nobody ever in the history of police force has ever been accused of excessive use of force for officer presence. So this would never be investigated. We're talking about the physical.
Not true. Again,
who has been investigated for officer presence? Give me an example.
Okay.
Go ahead. Thank you.
I'm going to give you an example.
Only officer presence.
Do you see all these?
At this point, hold on. Just so we're clear, let's set the parameters. No force is used. Which police officer has been charged for the first level of force when no force was used?
A police officer can't be charged just for showing up.
Okay, then obviously that's not what the fuck we're talking about, right? We're talking about physical use of force, right?
You asked me a question. You gonna let me answer?
You answered it. You just answered it.
No, I was gonna.
So nobody, right? Nobody ever?
Are you gonna keep yelling, or are you gonna let me answer?
I'm gonna keep yelling. I asked you a simple question.
You're seriously like a chick.
Could you give me an example of a time when an officer was charged without using for just official presence?
I just told you they can't be charged.
Okay, so then obviously what we were talking about was a physical use of force, right? That's what I don't want the police investigating themselves for. So you're trying to play gotcha bullshit. By the way,
I'm trying to explain to you the facts.
I already know the facts. I just listed them out to you.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want an example.
Because you don't want to hear the facts.
No, because I want you to explain to me why police
should investigate. Are you like 2-year-old that you can't have a mature conversation and just have
a good day? I'm not interested. Brother, you know that what you're saying is wrong. You know that what you're saying is that you're like, oh, police shouldn't investigate themselves. Oh, but you don't even know what use of force is. Then we bring up use of force, and you say they're never investigated for that. So obviously we're talking about physical use of force, and that's why everybody in the chat says ACAB, because you can't have a discussion, Chuck it. You can try again some other time. All right, let's move on. Hey, Jen.
Okay. That was.
It's a good way. We haven't done that for a while. It's a good way to go out on our final day.
Not. I mean, it is. It's like old time's sake. I mean, it's like old trusty. You can always count on something to break down. So, Jesus, fuck it. He's so mad.